In Halong Bay, fishermen whisper, "When mist drinks the moon, stay ashore, or become what waits below." They speak of Ong Lai Bong, the shadow boatman. Desperate after 17 empty nets and with a sick daughter at home, Nguyen rowed deeper into the bay than anyone dared. The mist descended, viscous and gray-green like a living shroud. In the silence came the slow creak drip of oars cutting water. A boat materialized, made not of wood but human finger bones bound with glistening strands. The figure rowing stood unnaturally tall, face hidden beneath a dripping conical hat. Its webbed hands revealed tiny fish swimming beneath translucent skin. "The waters have been unkind," it spoke without moving, "but I have caught plenty." In its vessel lay a silver eel with human eyes. "Take it. One bite seals our pact." "What's the price?" Nguyen trembled. Where a face should be, only a swirling vortex of seawater with pearl eyes. "Everything returns to the sea eventually. I merely expedite the process." Nguyen bit the eel. It tasted of salt and decay. Instantly, seawater flooded his mouth from within. He vomited brine, watching tiny crabs wriggle in the puddle. By morning, barnacles formed on his skin. His nets were full, not with fish, but pearls and gold. That night his nets caught silverfish, each with human teeth and eyes that followed him. He recognized faces of missing fishermen. The barnacles spread. X-rays showed his lungs filling with dark water, tiny humanoid silhouettes pressing against his ribs. "How long?" Nguyen asked. "Days," the doctor whispered. "What have you brought back?" That night, Nguyen confronted the shadow boatman. "Take it back!" "The sea always collects its debts." Nguyen lunged, but his legs fused into a tail. He toppled overboard, the cold water feeling like home. The shadow boatman wasn't one entity, but every fisherman who had made the bargain, their souls bound to the bay, fused into a collective horror. At dawn, Nguyen's boat drifted ashore, overflowing with treasure. His body sat at the helm, skin scaled, grinning with eel teeth. His eyes replaced by swirling seawater, his wife bore twins with webbed fingers and gills. By 5, both vanished into the bay. Now, when mist descends, fishermen speak of 2 shadow boatmen, the ancient one, and a newer figure with Nguyen's build, offering fish with human eyes. "One bite," they whisper, "to seal our pact." The locals say, fish are plentiful when someone goes missing. They check their children for barnacles nightly, and they never fish alone when the mist comes.
Deep in Sweden's Småland forest, Elin wandered alone. 3 weeks since burying her infant daughter, grief still hollowed her chest. She found it at dusk, moss-covered stones forming a cradle pulsing with unnatural green light. Ellen placed her daughter's tiny wooden rattle in the stone cradle. "Please," she whispered, "I just want the pain to stop." Mist rose from the forest floor. From within the trees came a woman humming a lullaby. "I'll ease your pain," whispered a voice, soft as rotting leaves. Exhausted, Elin fell asleep beside the mossy cradle. She woke at dawn, cradling something against her chest. Not her child, but a log wrapped in ivy, carved with crude features to mimic an infant's face. Her real baby was gone. Tiny footprints led deeper into the forest. Ellen followed, scratching her skin on thorns that seemed to reach for her deliberately. Hours later, she stumbled into a clearing where massive roots formed cribs. In each lay mummified infants wrapped in moss, their skin fused with bark. At the center stood a figure formed of rotting wood and living moss. Its face shifted constantly, features rearranging like slow-moving sap. Where eyes should be, hollow knots oozed green fluid. And at its chest, nursing at a bark-veined breast that leaked amber sap, was Ellen's baby. "Mine now," the moss mother hissed. "All lost children come to me." Ellen lunged forward, grabbing her child. The infant's skin felt cold, already sprouting tiny green tendrils. The forest erupted. Thorns shot from the ground, piercing Ellen's eyes. Vines dragged her down as the earth opened beneath her. Her baby was torn from her grasp as she was pulled underground, soil filling her screaming mouth. Mother feeds the forest. Forest feeds the children. Loggers found a crying infant alone in a clearing, surrounded by moss-covered stones. The child babbled at moss-covered skulls protruding from the earth. Ellen's body surfaced weeks later. Roots had pierced her heart. Moss bloomed from her mouth and eye sockets, forming a tiny, grotesque face. The stone cradle still appears to mourners. Rangers have posted warnings, but grieving parents still vanish each year. Those who resist report ivy growing unnaturally fast around windows, tiny handprints in garden soil pointing toward the woods. Sometimes, people glimpse a woman made of moss, cradling a bundle of roots shaped like an infant. She watches for mothers with grief in their eyes.
In rural Galicia, mist crawls like a living shroud. Elders warn of the Santa Compaña, a procession of damned souls seeking new recruits. Ramon Vasquez, a hard-headed farmer, dismissed these tales. After drinking half a bottle of aguardiente, he feared nothing. At 3 a.m. on winter solstice, Ramon stumbled through fog so thick he barely saw his boots. The road twisted through ancient oaks, reaching like skeletal fingers toward a moonless sky. He heard it first, shuffling feet moving in unison. They emerged, 12 hooded figures in tattered burial shrouds. Where eyes should be, candle flames burned within empty sockets, dripping molten wax down rotting flesh. Their mouths hung open in silent screams, jaws dislocated impossibly wide. They floated inches above ground, leaving no footprints. The air reeked of sulfur and burning hair. The leader, a skull with leathery skin patches still clinging to bone, extended a skeletal hand holding a black candle with blue-white flame. "Carry our light," it whispered, voice like cemetery wind. "Join us or replace one of us." The others moaned, candle eyes flaring to reveal their faces. Some fresh corpses, others centuries decayed, all frozen in eternal agony. "Ghosts, I fear nothing." Ramon laughed, slapping the candle away. It hit the ground with a hiss like burning flesh. 12 flame eyes focused on him with such intensity his skin prickled with heat. "You have chosen," the leader rasped, jaw cracking. The procession vanished instantly. Dawn found Ramon alive, until he opened his door. A life-sized wax effigy of himself stood on his doorstep. As sunlight touched it, the figure melted, face sloughing off to reveal a screaming mouth underneath. It collapsed into a bubbling pool that seeped into the earth. That night, whispers filtered through his walls. "You refused the flame, now burn without it." His skin warmed from within, bones becoming hot coals. Smoke rose from his pores. His veins glowed like molten rivers. Blisters erupted, leaping fluid that ignited on contact with air. His flesh blackened and cracked, revealing embers underneath. His cottage filled with the stench of roasting pork. Neighbors found only a human-shaped ash pile, face frozen mid-scream, arms outstretched, begging for mercy. Now the Santa Compaña has 13 members. The newest drags behind, a half-melted figure of wax and charred flesh moaning, "Take the candle, please, don't be like me." The road where Ramon died remains unnaturally warm. Those who touch the ground feel a pulse beneath, like a heart beating in terror. If you mock the Santa Compaña, you'll feel warmth in your marrow that night, the first sign you'll burn from within. The only protection? Accept the candle if offered, carry it until you find someone foolish enough to take your place. In Galicia, the dead don't rest, they recruit.